Hello there, come on in. Hey, it's Michael J, and I thought I'd just give you my room tour to give a little more insight into me and where I live. I moved here 12 years ago from New York to Sacramento, and at first I took a room with my old-time friend Shane, who goes back to college years, and he had a room to rent, and I was going to work in town at the Sacramento Music Circus, and I rode my bike back and forth from work, and this was a great location in Land Park. And then I took a job teaching theater at Christian Brothers High School, which is just an 11-minute drive without getting on a freeway from this house. So I did not know when I stayed here for the summer that I would still be here, but I am. Now, it's Shane's house, and he's decorated it in his own way, and so I'm just renting a room. So the only space that I can call my own and sort of decorate in my own fancy is the bedroom that I'm in. I have the run of the house. I'm all over the house, but I live in the living room a lot of the time, but that's filled with his things. There's one little bookshelf that's full of my books in there. I have a lot of books, though. I also have in his office, I have a bookshelf with more of my books, and then you will shortly see I have a lot of books in the room here where I live, the bedroom. But I've curated it with a few things that I've been collecting. I can't collect a lot of things because I don't have space. But this is fun because when I moved from New York, I sold off a lot of stuff, and I moved here with just clothes and books and a few important things. But I don't have room to expand under these living circumstances, which is probably a good thing because I could collect a lot of stuff. I haunt the antique stores all the time, and I always see stuff I'd love to do. And I always am thinking, well, if I had my own house, I would do this or that. But here's what I've done with my room. Now, when I moved in here, and I have some film footage to show you, some video of what it looked like before, it was kind of a pumpkin orange, and I really didn't like that. So I repainted it this sort of blue-gray color, which is really nice, and I thought would offset the artwork that I had. And since I did that, I also have collected some more artwork and put it on the walls, and I'm kind of maxed out with what I can put in this room. But my other collection is marionette puppets, different kinds of puppets actually, and books. And then I collect, I've started to collect original costume renderings. I have several from Raoul Pene du Bois, and who's a Broadway legend, and also Erte, I have one. So I found places for those on the wall. Anyway, I'm going to show you all that right now. Okay, these particular 4 paintings by Raoul Pene du Bois, I think are late career ones based on the style of the way he's rendering here. They are in a kind of, I don't know, they look like they're from 1776, but he didn't design that show. I cannot tell, and the owner who had these before, which was a gallery, they didn't know. And there's nothing written on the back of them, so you can't tell what they're from. And in my research so far, I haven't been able to find out what show these were for. So this gallery, well, besides this Picasso, which is my favorite from the Metropolitan Museum of Art, I love this picture. Also, it's a Harlequin clown, and it's theater, and I just love the colors too. I love the colors in a way that I don't realize I'm painting a lot of things with these colors, because there's a series of paintings here which all share the color palette, and they were made in different years at different times. But they're things that I did for fun, and so I put them together on the wall with silver frames to make a collage of stuff, a little gallery wall, if you will, of stuff that I've done, and that fills out this wall. So you can see all my books here. There's a lot of theater books on this side and literature on this side. I have a big collection of original Tex Tardy Boys books and their original bindings. Some are facsimiles and some are original. But I also have my small puppet collection. My Charlie Chaplin is one of my favorites. These guys right here have seen better days, but I like them. There's something about creepy dolls and puppets that I kind of like. There's a ventriloquist doll here. Why, thank you. And may I say, you're a star that needs no introduction. Why, thank you, Jerry.
And you're not going to get one either.
Oh, and this puppet here is Kukla. It's a reproduction that I made. And also, speaking of another reproduction I made, is this doll of Koko the Clown, who is a character from the Fleischer cartoons in the 20s. Actually, their first main star character until Betty Boop came along and Popeye and sort of took away his star power. But he was Betty Boop's friend in a lot of cartoons in the 30s. But the dolls that you can get that were made of this at the time go for $3,000, and they're not actually that good or in that good of condition. And I thought, I really like Koko. I want him, and so I made him. So I have a one-of-a-kind Koko the Clown. This dog beside him is Pudgy the dog, also from the Betty Boop cartoons. I had to get this because it was sold with the Boop musical on Broadway recently. And there were Pudgy the dog dolls back in the 30s, but they haven't been made in a long time. So here it was back on the market. I thought I better get it. I have my witch puppet and this German girl and this cowboy, which looks really freaky. Okay, this doll, I'm not a big doll person really, but see, it's about cartoon characters, and it's about maybe they're kind of rare, and that's what is intriguing me. So I don't just collect random dolls. There's a specific thing that I like about them. This is Brer Rabbit from the movie Song of the South, which was last seen in the movie theaters in 1987. I went to see it with my grandfather, but everybody thinks it's too racist to show to children anymore, so it's been locked away in the vault. So I was surprised when I think 6 years ago I went to Walt Disney World and this was on sale in the shops near the Splash Mountain. And the Splash Mountain ride is all the characters from Song of the South. And but anyway, this is so well made and so cute, and I thought, I am buying this because this character is maligned, and it's going to be, you're not going to be able to get it anymore, and it's going to be rare. I just was shocked that they were even selling it because there's been such a controversy around Song of the South, and the Splash Mountain ride's gone now. They've turned it into a whole nother ride to get rid of the song, just erase Song of the South. So some of the dolls I've collected are just because they're unique. Like this is Plain Crazy Mickey. He has a different sort of a look. Well, the first Mickey Mouse cartoon anybody saw was Steamboat Willie, which looks like this Mickey here. But before that, they animated Plain Crazy Mickey and Galloping Gaucho, I think is the other one. But they were released after Steamboat Willie, which was done with sound. So they went back to these two silent Mickeys and put sound on them, and then they were released second and third. But for some reason, they put out this little doll, Plain Crazy Mickey, and this isn't old. I don't know how old. I don't know, I'm guessing it's 25 years old or something, but it's, I found it at an antique store. I just thought it's so unique, I had to have it. And so the other Mickey Mouse doll I have is this one, which is 30s Mickey, and this is what he basically looks like in all the black and white 30s cartoons, and so he's black and white. And I keep him right here. This is also Koko, but Koko had a TV series in 1960 on TV in the Saturday morning cartoons, and it was called Out of the Inkwell, which was the original title of the series in the 20s. Well, he was sort of redesigned a little bit, but I found this doll, and I thought, well, I love Koko, but he's not my favorite version of Koko, which is why I made my own version to look like 1920s, 1930s Koko. These two are some of Mickey's early barnyard friends. It's Horse Collar Horse and Clarabelle Cow, and they're really good. They're little beanbag ones, and I just love them. And they don't have big roles, although Clarabelle kind of is showing up again. You can see her in parades at Disneyland now and stuff. She's hanging out with Daisy Duck and Minnie Mouse all the time. So I think that's really cool. But I love Horse Collar Horse. He shows up too. They've been sort of reignited on the Disney Channel and some of their programming, but I love how they would just show up in the old cartoons as what part of the gang. Of course, before Mickey Mouse, there was Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, and about 25 years ago, they made this doll and put it out. And Disney lost the rights to this character in the 30s or in the 20s, but they got them back, and so they're in control. And you can see this character walking around Disney's California Adventure and take pictures with him, but I just thought it was so cool that they actually had made a doll for Oswald, so I had to have another early cartoon character. Okay, so right now we've got the Olympics going on TV, the Winter Olympics. I love the Olympics. It's really my only sporting event. And so I love the 1920s. And I love the first half of the 20th century, all those decades, but the 1920s is great. And so I love this poster. I saw it on the wall, a big version of it, at a party I was at in New York, and I just thought, oh, I love that. And again, it's the colors from the pictures on my wall here. And there's something about these guys all with their hands up in solidarity, and it's the Paris Olympics in 1924. I just love it. So I got a nice frame job to give it some weight on the wall. That's really to counterbalance my wall of Raoul Pene du Bois artwork. All of a sudden my wall was out of balance where I needed to put them, so I got a more substantial frame for my Paris 1924 Olympics poster. And then over here in the corner by the window is this 1939 Raoul Pene du Bois, which I just love. And there's something about the way he was rendering with this quick sketch kind of way in the 30s when he was young that I just love. I wish I could find more of them, and I will get them, even though I have no more wall space. I will find more, and they will be mine if I can get my hands on them. And this puppet over here is Josephine Baker, another 20s icon. She worked and made appearances through the 60s, early 70s even, before she died. But I love her. I just love her. And also my favorite restaurant to go to in New York is called Chez Josephine, that was started by two of her adopted children, and it's still going even though they've both passed on. But it's a great restaurant. It's got her memorabilia all over it. And this is a one-of-a-kind puppet marionette of her, and so I just absolutely adore it. It just hangs here. I don't actually go out and do puppet shows. I used to when I was a kid. I was very much doing puppet shows. That's not my thing. Well, I just did Little Shop of Horrors at my school, and there's a big puppet in that. And Avenue Q, there's puppets in that. So I love puppets. But I'm not going out and being a puppeteer. That's not my thing. But unless it's within a play I'm working on. But I do love puppets, and I have my eye on a Carmen Miranda puppet that I really kind of want. So anyway, that might add to my collection. Oh, now the piece over my dresser here between the bookshelves is a rendering of the Jungle Cruise ride from Disneyland, and it's signed by Marc Davis, the artist who rendered it, and it's this elephant moment in the park, which is so cool. This was given to me back when I was doing Jumbo. I got several elephant gifts. I have kept a few of them. I had a lot of little elephant things, but yeah. So this one's special because it's from a Disney artist and a Disneyland piece of memorabilia, and so I've had it for years. I mean, 30 years now I've had this, and it lived with me in New York on my wall. It lives with me here in two prior places I lived before that. So it's come with me a long way. And the colors in it happen to go with my 1930s Raoul Pene du Bois painting on one side, so I framed them in a similar way so they would be like a pair. And the other rendering I have over here is the Erte. And the Erte also had some color similarities, and so all of the framing I did was to make those like a triptych of renderings by different artists. And so if I ever move or have a different room, I'll kind of keep them together as a little package, a little moment, wherever I end up next in my life of living places on this earth. Well, that's just a little insight into my life and where I live. I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next time.